But this is the Tallahatchie River. This is where Jesse Jackson said this is the big bang of the civil rights movement. If Emmett's body is not removed from here, there's no open casket. There's no March on Washington. There's no Montgomery bus boycott. There's no electing the first black president. If you don't have a shared collective history, there's no shared future. So the idea that if we have a fragmented idea of where we've come from, we're not going to have any type of, shared future.
And so with the Emmett Till story, how do we get there?
I think we get there by telling the truth, right? I mean, there was 50 years of silence. There's 50 years where the state of Mississippi, any local entity, there was no mention of Emmett Till for 50 years after his death.
When I think about the civil rights movement, just generally speaking, and I know that among younger generations, it doesn't resonate the same way. So what gives you the sense of possibility that such an old story can continue to be relevant as we're thinking about how we're going to move into this future?
Yeah, this is the most incredible story that you can imagine, right? That the worst of humanity shows up and tortures a child, and then out of those ashes, the best of humanity shows up. And it starts with Willie Reed, who is the eyewitness of the murder. It then goes to Mamie Till, who decides to have an open casket, and then it spreads out throughout the country, throughout the universe, that this is not who we are as a species. The grocery store is where this white storekeeper lied. The courthouse is where an injustice took place, but the barn doesn't lie. And we need to come there every single year, and we take stock of, have we made it? Can we say that truth and justice is fulfilled? I'm still pissed off that I didn't know about it. I was 18 when I found out about Emmett Till, and it unnerved me that this story had been hidden from me. And I think I knew somewhere deep inside that I would be a fuller person if I understood, one, how this happened, why it happened, but then why it was hidden. And I think that scaffolding, that understanding of our history allows us to do better as we move forward. 2 white men kidnap a black child in the middle of the night, and they get so afraid of that black child that they have to destroy him. What are we Mississippians so afraid of?
What's the answer to that?
I think they were afraid that he was equal to them. 2 men were on trial, but we know there's at least 7 people involved in this murder. And the murderer's version is what got told. And the way they tell it is full of lies. They say that Emmett Till wasn't scared, that he wouldn't back down, which is why they had to kill him. Of course he's scared. He's in the middle of the dark. He's not from this area. He's been kidnapped. Of course he's scared.
We have brought it out of the darkness into the light. It got its start in the belly of hatred.
Ultimately a place of
Forgiveness, a place of brightness, a place of commemorating and hearing the truth. When you stand in these spaces, you cannot resist the empathy, the sovereignty, the hopelessness, but the hope. The hope I would never, and I hope that my child would never experience. And it's that hope that will carry us through when you can stand in this space and you can feel all of this and you can take all of this in and you can understand it. You don't want it for your child. You don't want it for your future. But if you never stand in that space, then you'll never understand.
Why do you think this specific story resonates so deeply with people to the point that it merits a sacred space?
You know, I ponder that somewhat because these was grown men that took a child. Was it that much hatred in their heart to not even see Emmett as a human being? But yet, what they meant for evil, God can use it for good.
We stand here in this place of deep suffering. It was here that Emmett Bobo Till, his cries filled the night, calling out for his mother. Though her arms were hundreds of miles away, Mamie Till-Mobley answered in Chicago. She took his cries, his pain, and transformed them into a call the whole world could hear. There is no resurrection at Robert's Temple without the violence that happened here in Mississippi. There is no open casket, and there is no Montgomery bus boycott, no March on Washington, no Emmett Till generation without what happened here. And because of this place, voices of courage rose up.
I mean, I knew there was a barn,
Yeah.
but it never even entered my consciousness. You're literally putting something back into the truth that was there the whole time,
Yeah.
but was hidden,
Yeah.
it was obscured.
There's plenty of people that knew that this is where it happened, and we didn't want to look at this. We didn't want to look at this. I mean, we could barely look at the open casket.
Is it the case that the owners here didn't know?
Yeah.
They didn't know.
Yeah, they basically didn't know, but I think that it's in plain view for everybody. Like an entire society avoids looking at this barn.
There is a biblical element to it. It feels like it's the best stories from the Bible seem to be about people who go through incredible hardship and suffering, and yet somehow this story becomes a story of inspiration. And that has happened here at Emmett Till, it feels like, and you've been part of that story.
Yeah, and I think we don't want to face the suffering. You know, that's the hardest reality of humanity, is that we don't want to face the suffering. But in that suffering, I think we are at our most human. By remembering, we take part in the healing of this land and the healing of our own souls. And soon this barn will no longer be hidden, no longer in danger of loss. It will be preserved as a permanent memorial for truth, courage, for healing, and for remembrance. Emmett Till's life was sacred. It is still sacred. And our being here is our answer. We hear him. The narrative that so many people taught, you know, Rosa Parks sitting down and Dr. King standing up and then we're all free, it lacks the motivation of why Rosa and King would do what they did. And they do it because they hear the story from Dr. T.R.M. Howard, who's in Mount Bayou, 10 miles from this site, and comes and tells them about the barn.
It's not just a barn. It is a place where Emmett blood was shedded. It's kind of like the river site down at the Graball Landing where his body was taken up out of the water. And when you go and visit that site, it's moving because of what took place.
What difference will this barn make to the story that you tell once you have possession of it?
It means a lot when there's somebody of another color. Not always white, but get it. Get it. And I mean get it to where they have no control over the emotion. And I've had that happen to me, you know. And then they go into, I'm sorry, you know. And I ask the question, what are you sorry about? I'm sorry for the loss of life. I'm sorry that man would stoop so low. I'm sorry that I did not know that this was right here. Because we have people that are locally from the area and they're just now learning.
When I first got here, one of the historical markers was shot so many times at this site that you couldn't read the writing. And I wasn't in the position to try to figure out how to replace it then. But we kept on telling our story. We kept on growing our base, and that would allow us to take that next step.
And that base is something that most people wouldn't grasp as possible.
Yeah.
You've got Republicans,
Yeah.
Democrats, poor white people, poor black people,
Yeah.
plantation owners.
Yeah.
How do you convince them all?
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman,
Shonda Rhimes.
Shonda Rhimes, like famous people too.
Yeah. Jerome Little.
How do you convince them all to align around a singular narrative that does get this broad base of people to sign on? How do you do that?
I think this is a story that a lot of folks can get behind. Like, I think it takes. He was a 14-year-old child, and this is the whole power of storytelling, right? Like, once you learn one individual story, you can then start to understand all of the stories, right? But it takes that one story.